also on Capitol Hill today, a hearing on the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Nearly 2.5 years later, lawmakers still searching for answers about the chaos and devastation that unfolded at Abbey Gate when 13 service members were killed in the final days of the United States withdrawal in Afghanistan.
People all over the world watched as babies were flung over barbed wire fence by mothers without hope. Desperate Afghans fell to their deaths from airplanes, and hordes of people surrounded the airport as they tried to flee for their lives. The damage to our reputation and our credibility, the United States credibility around the world, that damage will last for generations.
Now, the top two military leaders overseeing the operation testified before Congress again today, but for the first time as retired officials.
The fundamental mistake, fundamental flaw, was the timing of the State Department.
I believe that the events of mid and late August 2021 were the direct result of delaying the initiation of the NEO for several months. In fact, until we were in extremis and the Taliban had overrun the country.
Joining us now is the retired four-star General Wesley Clark. General, thanks for being with us here on the Hill. First time, I believe. Appreciate the time. This hearing up on the Hill today, of course, examining what happened 2.5 years ago in Afghanistan. I'm wondering from your perspective, sir, what you took away and what, if anything, you learned today.
Well, I think it's absolutely true what General Milley and General McKenzie said, that the non-combatant evacuation order should have been prepared and given earlier. But I think the root of the problem goes back a lot further than that. Really goes back to 2001, when we struck Afghanistan militarily without a real plan. And the Taliban government collapsed. We never really got hold of it. We deployed forces there for over 20 years, and we fought the same, as the participants would tell you, fought about the same war 20 different times, 1 year at a time. And in 2014, we stopped U.S. troops going on combat operations. On 2018, we stopped them being out there and able to observe what was happening firsthand. This was under the Trump administration, so we lost our direct intelligence feed as to the progress of the Taliban. And then under the Trump administration again, a withdrawal agreement was negotiated, which really didn't have any leeway for leaving forces behind. The military advice was leave forces behind. That's good military advice. Had I been there, that's the advice I would have given. But it wasn't taken for whatever reason, maybe because of the agreement that was previously negotiated by Trump, and maybe the Biden administration didn't feel they could.
Yeah, so what did the Biden administration get wrong as you see it?
So for the Biden administration, the problem was that they didn't understand, they didn't have the intelligence to show how rapidly the Afghan military would collapse. The predictions were 6 months to a year, maybe. But instead, it was like 4 to 6 weeks as soon as the United States announced it was coming out and left no residual force there, and that was clear. The wheels came off the car, and immediately these forces out there collapsed and cut their own deals with the Taliban.
You know, I mentioned this was the first time we heard from these top officials as no longer being officially in the chain of command. And General McKenzie said something today, General Clark, that really got my attention. I want to play it and get your reaction on the other side.
I was the overall commander, and I alone bear full military responsibility for what happened at Abbey Gate.
Where those 13 U.S. service members died, 170 Afghan civilians. He says, I alone bear full military responsibility. When he says that, sir, how do you process that? How do you read it, and why do you think he said that today?
Well, he said it because he was the commander in charge, and it's true, he was responsible. But there were people below him who also had responsibilities that didn't either see what the problem was or execute them correctly. So there are a lot of people up and down the chain of command who had a hand in this failure.
Former retired General Wesley Clark, former four-star general. Very nice to talk to you, sir. Appreciate the time and your perspective as well. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Blake.
Thank you for watching, and make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.